Chaser Report is recorded on Gadigal land.
Striving for mediocrity in a world of excellence. This is the Chaser Report.
Hello and welcome to the Chaser Report with Dom and Charles. I'm the Dom part.
Am I Charles?
You're the Charles
Right,
part.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is confusing, I realise. Massive news out of London, Charles. The coronation preparations are taking shape. We're getting a sense of what the king's going to do when he has the ceremony. And it's a tough one because what he's attempting to do is have a more slimmed down modern take on the coronation a bit because it's a bit, times are tough. The world economy is not going so well.
Yes.
And yet it's a fucking coronation. So the very idea of having anything at all is fundamentally silly. So we need to somehow, I'm going to talk you through the sort of line he's weaving in between hundreds of years of tradition and pomp and expense and having a coronation at all, which is clearly a silly idea. He's already the king. This is he becomes the king the moment that that the queen dies.
This is by definition a completely unnecessary ceremony.
I don't get what the point of it is.
Well, the point is to sort of spend lots of money and show how rich you are.
Well, it's basically propaganda, yes. But he's already the king. Everyone knows he's maybe back in the day.
To prove that you're better than everyone else.
Oh, you know what it is. I know what it is. There's one part of the coronation, which is the fundamental aspect of it, which is probably the only reason he's still doing it.
Ooh.
There's a moment in the coronation, because I've got all the details here. He's dumped a lot of traditions.
Oh, yeah.
There's a moment where all the dukes from around England, from around the realm, have to come and kneel and promise to be loyal to the new king, rather than as is traditional and trying to kill him.
Right.
So that's what they do. So they all turn up.
Oh, so that's the reason to do the whole
Yeah, that's
coronation.
the only reason to do it, so that all the dukes, and specifically the Duke of Sussex, Harry, who is coming to the coronation.
Wow.
Meghan's staying at home in California. Harry's turning up, and there's a lot of debate about will this part happen where all the dukes have to come and swear allegiance to the new king and promise not to stab them, or write a really mean autobiography about what bad dads they were, possibly. So apparently William's going to swear. That's certain.
Yeah.
But we don't know whether Harry's going to take the knee.
Of course he's going to take the knee. That's how he gets it within stabbing distance of his dad.
So there's lots of things that are and aren't part of the coronation. We'll go through some more of the details. But Charles, you've been looking at the menu.
Yes.
And this is a perfect example of how they're trying to save money and be modern.
No, and look, can I just take a step back here and say I think Charles has got this all wrong. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the king. And I've been doing a lot. It's basically the only thing I've been thinking about the last couple of weeks is this coronation.
Yeah, of course.
It's such huge news.
I mean, it's the most important thing happening this year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think he's just got it all wrong because the food that he's announced, this is the official food that you're all supposed to eat.
Can I guess? Pheasant.
Well, yes, exactly.
Partridge.
Or even better, peasant.
Peasant.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
Indeed.
Like that would be
Serfs.
yes, exactly.
It would be surf and turf made out of actual
serfs.
villages. Yeah.
No, it's a fucking spinach quiche.
Are you serious?
It's a spinach quiche.
Of all of the foodstuffs. I know British cuisine is
like,
famously shit. He's chosen a food that is not only boring, but is French.
But
is French.
Yes, but also is literally an insult. Oh, you're a fucking quiche eater, are you?
The one thing that the British royals should not do by tradition is have anything French at the wedding. It's an awkward point.
Oh, what a faux pas. Oh, no, another French thing.
Oh, dear. So, maybe this is the test because one of the things that he's doing, Charles, on my list of changes is he's slimmed down the invitations because Queen Elizabeth had 8,000 people at her coronation. 8,000 people. Yeah. And bearing in mind...
Was that sort of only people she knew by name? Was it?
It was every white person in the whole...
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, but bearing in mind how much smaller the UK was in the 50s than it is now, like it's probably a third the size population. I don't know, but maybe half. So it was every second person was at the coronation. Yeah. Charles is only going to have 2,000.
My sister was probably at her coronation.
It probably was there. Verity Firth AM.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there'd be a lot of noses put out of joint by that. Can you imagine all the sort of dignitaries, the minor dignitaries, who would be thinking they're going to get an invitation, and offended, but then they hear it's quiche.
Yes, so
they're not going to turn up.
It's actually good. Like the whole reason is it's actually strategic.
It is.
It's very strategic to sort of say it's going to be shit. But don't you think that see, it's a problem. I think Prince Charles or King Charles hasn't really thought it through, because if all these people are not turning up either because they haven't been invited or because they don't want to eat quiche, isn't it likely that Harry can organise them to, do a bit of the stabbing? And isn't that how Game of Thrones all works?
Yeah, well, but Charles, except that the difference is
mount a palace coup.
The red wedding, a red coronation.
Yes.
Oh
my
goodness.
Red Coronation.
Yeah.
Yes.
That could be very.
Yes.
That's why Harry's going. The only problem is, Charles,
is there an official wine of the coronation? Because maybe red, the official red is not wine.
No.
But it's the blood of the monarch.
Oh, but I must say, Harry's clearly the finest winer in the realm.
Yeah.
I haven't read his book, but I gather that's the thing. But Charles, here's the thing: nobody ever stabbed a monarch and overthrew a dynasty on quiche. You can't. There's not enough energy.
Yes, there's not enough energy.
Particularly if it's vegetarian quiche.
Everyone will just sort of
go and flop in the corner and just talk about spinach cultivation in there.
They'll probably halfway through the coronation put on EastEnders. Just watch that.
But this is the weird thing. This is the sort of the weird schism at the coronation, because on the one hand,
they should put on Coronation Street.
They should put on Coronation Street. Yeah. On the one hand, terribly modern. I'm just not. I'm not better than you. It's probably going to be Aldi quiche too. So it'll be German.
No. They published the recipe so everyone can. Because I think the thing is, they went, let's do something cheap, because everyone in Britain is so poor as a result of the royal family being so rich that we have to give everyone a recipe for something that they can cook at home that only has basically eggs and flour.
Are you saying that Charles is not only serving quiche at the coronation, but he's instructing everyone to eat quiche in his honour?
That's the whole idea. I don't know about you, Dom, but that's what I'm going to do on Coronation Day. I'm going to get out my whisk and make a spinach quiche according to the royal recipe, and then sit down and watch the coronation.
I mean, isn't it tragic how far the British Empire's fallen? The once great, the sun never set on the British Empire. Now it's eating quiche. Its remnants are eating the most insipid food known to humans.
Because I sort of think it's sort of a symbol of him not being monarchy enough.
That's the problem. It's the most boring and sort of down-to-earth food. But at the same time, he's wearing a gold fucking robe and he's wandering around in a gilded carriage.
Yes, but that's because that's not his choice. That's already established that that's what he's got to do. But every time he has a decision, he makes the wrong one, right? I don't know, what would you serve at your coronation, Dom? Wouldn't it be we can say peasant and everything like that, but what's a real food? Where you just go, I'm fucking king. I can fucking choose what I fucking like, because the whole point of it is that I have noblesse oblige. I have just complete decision-making power. I am complete...
That's probably what he's done. He's probably chosen his favourite food. He probably loves quiche.
He loves
poor drip. I mean, someone who paints watercolours for fun and fantasises about being a tampon. Probably eats quiche through choice. Oh, the poor man.
The Chaser Report. Less news, less often.
Why can't he just stop being king? Leave him alone. Leave him just pot around some little cottage and eat quiche and talk to Camilla. He doesn't want to do this job. I feel almost sorry for him now. He's just a sort of mediocre little British weirdo who wants to just do watercolours and be a tampon. Why don't let him?
Well, maybe it's good that Harry's coming over to destroy the monarchy.
It's quite possible. And what food would I serve? I think I'd serve pizza. I would have, what I'd do is I'd get the royal coach and the whole regalia and here comes an amazing gilded carriage, and oh my goodness, what's that pizza being distributed to all the people? Wouldn't that be brilliant? Imagine all the sort of palace guards, the beef eaters, just marching down with pizza to deliver it to the crowd.
And it could be all beef.
Beef pizza.
All
meat lovers pizza.
Meat lovers pizza.
And the beef eaters.
Absolutely. Oh, that's great.
That'd be good. I mean, I suppose you'd have to have pheasant pizza, I suppose. But I think that'd be good.
I'd quite like chops at my coronation.
You love chops, don't you?
I love
that. But that is again a sort of generic British. Like when I lived in England as a kid, there was a lot of chops. They were very cheap.
Exactly.
Nothing fancy about them.
Yeah. So you just have chops.
Do you think though, Charles, that back at the palace, like at the after party,
there's
going to be caviar and shit, isn't there? He's not serving quiche back at the proper party.
Well, I don't know. My grandma once went and had tea at Buckingham Palace with the Queen.
Amazing.
When my grandfather was being knighted or something. And they served cucumber sandwiches. I mean, maybe the whole point is the royal family's just always been a bit lame.
A bit like it's very British, isn't it? I would have thought
the Queen, when she got coronated, she had roast chicken with mild curry powder. That was the recipe. It was called Coronation Chicken.
Oh my God! So full credit to them because despite being clearly German, like the royal family are as German as it gets, right? Even when she married Prince Philip, largely German, right?
Yes. So you could have
better food.
You could have bratwurst.
Yeah, there's better food in Germany.
Yes.
But they've somehow forced themselves to give up the delicious food, the sausages or whatever of their homeland,
and just have
the rosti and the whole thing.
Yeah, just have bland French food.
I mean, I would have sauerkraut over fucking quiche and Coronation chicken.
Yes.
The poor people, they're in imagine having to eat a cucumber sandwich. I mean, you generally...
Yeah.
You just go, why bother?
Yes.
Why bother making a cucumber sandwich?
Look, I've started to feel sorry for the British ruling class.
Well, until
having to go along.
until Harry gets rid of them all. Yeah. So the big dilemma is, I mean, this is the thing he's so constrained in. The big decision for King Charles is what to wear to your own coronation.
Well, red, so you can't see the blood stains.
Oh yes, that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
But apparently the tradition
wouldn't that all be just dictated by tradition? You don't.
Well,
really
he's
get a
actually
choice
trying to get rid of some of the traditions,
oh, right.
which is that once upon a time, for hundreds of years, incoming kings have had to wear silk stockings and breeches, looking like a kind of twit performing Shakespeare. But he's just going to wear a military uniform. He's not going to do it.
Has he ever been in the military?
They're the royal family. They get to wear...
Oh, you know why he's wearing the military uniform? Because he knows Harry's going to attack him. He's got to be prepared. He's got to wear the armour.
Bulletproof vest.
It'll probably be full camo gear.
It probably will be.
He'll probably be hiding most of the time.
I suspect so. But you know, this is genuinely a traditional part...
And wait a minute. Who coronates?
Crowns.
Who crowns the king?
Probably the Archbishop, I suppose. The Archbishop of Canterbury.
Yeah, saying like God is bestowing this
God's
on
on.
him. Yeah,
so you know that this is one thing that he's dropped. Traditionally, the king, during the coronation, or queen, is presented with gold ingots. The richest person in the whole of Britain who already owns a fucking gold coach and is dressed in gold robes. Oh, Your Majesty, you don't quite have enough gold. Have this ingot from the poor people. Imagine how many peasants they have to sort of tax to get the ingot.
Mind you, I don't know who made up that rule, right, that tradition. But that's a pretty clever tradition to set up, isn't it? Like, oh, yes, and it is tradition from now on. Thou must give me gold ingots.
Just for tradition reasons.
Just for tradition reasons, not because I want all that gold.
There is one thing, though, that the new king is doing. So, the main tradition, it's very strange. The moment of the coronation, he holds a sort of an orb in his hand. Like
yes.
A round ball signifying, I don't know, the world or the empire or something.
The realm.
The realm. I think it's sort of like the heavens and the ocean. Anyway.
Right.
And then I've done a lot of research, as you can see. The Archbishop uses a spoon that's something like 600 years old to put oil on him. He gets an oil massage.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes. And I've read about this, which is that's like a baptism. He's being baptized to be king.
To be king in oil, of all the things.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want something less flammable, being appointed?
with Harry around. I bet you Harry smokes.
There's one thing you know about Harry. He's always got a lighter. No question about it. So that's the coronation. The coronation goose is going to be cooked by Harry. So that's part of it. I mean, imagine having anything you want and going, oh yeah, I'll have some oil. Just whack some oil on me. That'd be a nice tradition.
No, but a nice oil massage. You know, you get a sort of.
I don't think the Archbishop's going to be getting in there with the fingertips and helping him relax.
Yeah, especially with a spoon.
That's right, with a spoon. Yeah. Like a baby spoon. So there's that. But the one thing that the king is doing that I think we should all be truly grateful for, and I think, to be honest, suggests that he will probably be a relatively good king. It's not the quiche.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest change that he's making is that traditionally the coronation lasts for 3 hours. Charles, 1 hour.
Ah,
Long live the king!
long live the king! Well, so they will have time to switch over to EastEnders. Sorry, Coronation Street.
Well, it'll be obviously shorter than an hour because of the whole stabbing from Harry that will happen halfway through. But nevertheless, a king aiming to... I do feel somewhat sorry for him, trying to make the most ridiculously overblown possible ceremony humble and austere.
Yeah.
Good luck, Your Majesty.
Yeah. It's almost like he's trying to have his quiche and eat it too.
Well, I know what we'll be serving at the funeral that follows the coronation. Geary Road, we're part of the Iconoclast Network.
See ya.